RCA destruction, campaign rain, champagne when they bustin', money on the table by the counterfeits, $1 million fables, shit I'm counting cents. Since it seemed that I see a destruction, I'll be packing light. No, I got some Russians, I'll be in your sights, so in your discussions. Why be speak so hard? Struggle just to love you.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Inside the Lunchbox with your boy, Chef Mac. Now, today, we are going to go over number 2 of the mother sauces, Espagnnole. Espagnnole is a great sauce, great tasting sauce, but to me, it's very, very complex and it's not really feasible to make at home in like an apartment. At least for me, it's not. If you have a house, you can definitely probably do Espagnnole at your house. I think there's only one way to do Espagnnole, and the only way is the right way. And you have to start off with a brown stock. So yeah, so in order to get an Espagnnole, you need your brown stock to make your Espagnnole, which means the Spanish sauce or Spanish sauce. So let's get started. So first things first, you're going to have to use your mirepoix, and you're going to have to get you some veal bones, and you're going to have to roast your veggies and your veal bones in tomato paste. Get you some tomato paste, spread it over the bones, mix it in with your veggies, and you're going to roast it probably for about an hour, 10 minutes, or whenever your bones get good and brown and your veggies get good and brown. And what you're going to do, you're going to take your stock pot, and you're going to put all your ingredients inside your stock pot, and then you're going to fill with cold water. Remember, guys, it has to be cold water. This is going to help break down the connective tissue and the fat that's inside the veal bones, because you don't want to start off with hot. You want to lead up to it so it could work correctly far as getting that connective tissue off, enhancing the flavors, So yeah. So once you do that and you have everything done, don't add salt to your stock, because you're going to let this roast for about 18 hours. Yeah, I said it, 18 long hours. I didn't think, when I was in culinary school, I didn't think it took so much time to make a good stock. To make a really good stock and to have a really good sauce, you need a really good stock. These stocks are roasted or cooked for hours or simmer. So they're simmered for hours. And I think Espagnnole is probably the longest, because you're trying to get all the connective tissue off of the veal bones, all the ligaments and everything. So yeah, so definitely you're going to let it cook for 18 hours. And the process is you're going to bring it up to a rolling boil. And once it starts boiling, you're going to drop the heat down to a very, very light simmer, small simmer, and you're going to let that simmer for 18 hours. And with this simmering, you're allowing the flavors to come out of everything, flavors to come out of your mirepoix, which is your carrots, your celery, and your onions, and also your herb, your sachet herb, which is whatever herb you want to put in there to flavor your stock. Once you do that, after your 18 hours, you're going to take everything out of your pot, and you're going to notice that your bones, they're going to be white. They're going to be clean. They're going to be real clean. So you're not going to have any connective tissue on there, no fat, anything, nothing on there. So you're going to take all that stuff out, and you're going to strain it, run it through a fine strainer, and then bring it back up to a simmer. And you're going to let it simmer just for a little bit, maybe like another 10, 15 minutes. Now you have your brown stock. Now you can start on your Espagnnole sauce. Now with your Espagnnole sauce, you're going to need some garlic. You're going to need some tomatoes, tomato paste, onions, celery, carrots. And you're going to do it just like you do a bechamel. You're going to make a roux. Start off with your roux first. Well, let's back up. First of all, you're going to bring your mirepoix. You're going to saute them in your pot. You don't want too much color on it. Just get a little color on it. And then you're going to add your equal parts butter, equal parts flour, and you're going to start making your roux. And you want to do like a light to medium brown for your color for your Espagnnole. Once you get it to the color you're liking, you're going to take your veal stock that you slaved over for 18 hours, and you're going to pour that into your roux and bring that up to a boil. Make sure everything's mixed in well. And once you bring it up to a boil, you're going to slowly drop it down to a simmer, and you're going to slowly simmer your sauce. And once again, it's going to enhance the flavors that you put in there. I've done mine with bacon before. When I put my onions and celery and I put some smoked bacon in there, it turned out really, really good. So, might want to add some bacon to it too as well. So once you add your veal stock into your roux, you're going to also add your tomatoes, your garlic, and your herbs. Now here, listen, this is one thing that you have to understand is whenever you're doing classical French and you see in the recipe where it calls for a tomato, these tomatoes are 90% of the time they're going to be blanched for about 30 seconds, which blanch is you're going to bring your water up to a boil, add your salt, plenty of salt, bring it back up to a boil, and then you're going to blanch your tomatoes for about 30 seconds. Drop them there, count to 30, pull it back out, and you're going to give it a ice bath, water and ice. And what this does, it's going to shock your tomatoes, and it's going to allow the skin to start peeling off of the tomatoes. You want to take the skin off the tomato, discard the tomato skin, and now you're going to dice up your tomato slices, and you're going to add that to your Espagnnole sauce with your garlic and everything. The skin makes it kind of bitter, I guess. Not really sure, but I know that's classical way for French is to take the skin off the tomato. So once you do that, you're going to simmer it, and you're looking for a consistency called nappe. Nappe is a consistency where you take your spoon and you put your spoon inside the sauce, and if it coats your spoon evenly, and you take your finger and you swipe your spoon, it's not going to come together. You're still going to see that swipe in your spoon, and the sauce is going to coat it really, really well. That's called nappe. Definitely is how you want your sauce to look, and that's definitely how the consistency that you're looking for. Once you do that, once it gets to that point, then you can start adding your salt. If you notice, we didn't add any salt or pepper or any seasoning to our brown sauce or to our stock, because you want to do that at the end. You don't want to do it at the beginning, because remember, the solid stuff is going to stay. So you start reducing it, the saltiness is going to come out. So if you start putting salt in there at every stage of your sauce making or your stock making, you're probably most likely it's going to be too salty. So you add salt to taste. Herb, go for it. Add as much herbs as you want to your sauce. Go overboard with it. I'm a strong believer you can't over herb, but you can over salt. Yeah. So add your salt to your sauce, And once you get it to your liking, now comes the most important part of making a French sauce. It's called Montier Beurre, which was our word of the day in episode 1. Montier Beurre is mounted with butter. You're going to take you some cold, nice cold butter. You're going to chop it into cubes. And you're going to take your sauce off the heat, and you're slowly going to incorporate the butter into your sauce, slowly whisking it. And what this does, it's going to add a sheen, like a shiny sheen to your sauce, which is great. It's going to add some depth to it. A little bit of, I guess you could say, a little bit of creaminess. It's butter, so one thing it's going to definitely add some flavor to it. And it's just overall just going to make your sauce what it's supposed to be, a sauce. So definitely don't forget to mount with butter on your Espagnnole. So that's Espagnnole in a nutshell. It's an easy sauce to make. And with Espagnnole, you could make other sauces. You can make sauce Robert, lyonnaise sauce, and my favorite, which I think this one should be a sauce. I think it should be either the fifth mother sauce or the true Espagnnole mother sauce. I think this should take the place of it, but I don't make the rules. And if a French chef heard me say this, he'll probably be turning over in his grave if he's dead. And if he's alive, I most likely will be getting cursed out in English and in French. But another sauce is called demi-glace. Now, when I say demi-glace, it's like gold, very expensive. I tried to look, it's a quick story. I didn't want to make demi-glace, so I wanted to see if they actually sold demi-glace in a grocery store. And some grocery stores sell it. Some only sell it online. And for 8 ounces, it was like $44. I'm like, oh wow, for an 8-ounce little jar of demi-glace, 40. Man, I even seen some that was like $50, $60, $100 for demi-glace. So this stuff is definitely gold. If you have demi-glace in your house right now, that's what's up. That means you know about sauces, and you know how to eat your meat. But yeah, so demi-glace to me, the reason why I think it should be a mother sauce, because if you think about it, to get to Espagnnole sauce, you have to make your stock. And once your stock is made, you got to make your roux, and then you got to add your stock, and then you got to simmer it, right? With demi-glace, it's the same process with roasting your veal bones, roasting your veggies, or your mirepoix. And once that's done, you take out your bones, and you take out your veggies, and at this point, all you do is simmering. You're going to sit there and simmer the heck out of this, or not simmering, you're going to boil the heck out of this sauce till it starts reducing till it gets to about a gallon. I like to go a little bit further than a gallon. Some chefs like to go a little bit further than a gallon because it just brings awesome flavor. But yeah, you want to boil it, reduce it down to about a gallon, a little bit less. And what this does, it starts to gelatize. It's going to start having all this gelatinous stuff inside of it. And what you do, you're going to give it, once you get done with it, you're going to cool it. To properly cool it, you're going to give it an ice bath. Once it reaches the temperature that it needs to be, you're going to refrigerate it. Refrigerate it for about a day, and then you're going to come back, and you're going to notice that it's just like Jell-O. Like, like Jello, gelatinous Jello. And whenever you're ready, you take a scoop out of it, a spoonful out of it, and you just put it in your saucepan, and it's going to melt down into a sauce. And then you're going to add, of course, Monty Burr, add your butter, and it makes a sauce. Now, I may not be the smartest man in the world, but when you're telling me, when you're using mother in a way that it's like the beginning or like the base, like the foundation, I don't think Espagnnole is the foundation, because you got to make your roux and you got to go further with it, right? To get Espagnnole. With demi-glaze, you're just taking your brown stock and you're reducing it, and you're letting all the connective tissue and the fattiness thicken your sauce down to the consistency of nappe. You're not adding a roux, or you're not adding any type of thickening agent to it. So to me, that sounds like that would be the base of a sauce. But if you tell a French chef that, he's probably going to give you a few words in English and in French. And if he knows another language, he's going to give it to you in that language too. And if a famous French chef is in the grave, he's probably going to come back and he's probably going to give you a few words in English and in French too. But that's just be honest with you people, that's just my personal opinion. I think that demi-glaze is the true mother sauce. Shoot, man, one of our French chefs when I was in school told me that he feels that mayonnaise should be the sixth mother sauce. And I'm looking at him like, why would you think mayonnaise should be the fifth? Mayonnaise is horrible. And I mean, he broke it down to me, and I was like, well, that does make sense. You know, with mayonnaise, you starting off with your egg, your oil, and your Dijon mustard, and you're emulsifying it, and then that's mayonnaise. And then with that, you can make smaller other type of little sauces. And with mayonnaise, there's no limit to what you can do. Like, you can make a cilantro lime aioli, chipotle aioli, a sriracha aioli. It just keeps going on. Whatever you want, you can make it an aioli. So I get his argument. So maybe there should be 7 mother sauces instead of 5. Or maybe it should just be 6 and take Espagnnole out and just make demi-glaze the 5th, one of the 5 mother sauces. That would be awesome. But yeah, so maybe it should be 7 mother sauces. So people, tell me what you think out there in the world. For everybody that cooks, do you think Espagnnole is a mother sauce, or do you think demi-glaze should take Espagnnole and become the mother sauce? Like I said, you have to add to your stock to get your Espagnnole, where demi-glaze, you're just taking your brown stock, your veal stock, and you're just reducing it. To me, that's a base. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you think Espagnnole? Do you think demi-glaze? Or do you think mayonnaise should be one of the 6, or even be the 7th mother sauce? I'm not a fan of mayonnaise, but I get the argument. But yeah, so you can make your demi-glaze with your Espagnnole, and there's other stuff you could do with Espagnnole. You can add some Madeira wine to it, make a Madeira sauce. You can even do that with your demi-glaze. Now, with demi-glaze, and you add Madeira wine to it, oh man, that sauce is so freaking delicious. I had to do that sauce. I had to make a Madeira sauce with my beef Wellington when I was in school. I had to make a beef Wellington for my final project. And the classical way is a beef Wellington with Madeira sauce. Yeah, it was really, really tasteful. I got a good grade on it. But yeah, so just give you a little quick history on Spanish sauce or Espagnnole. There's several, I guess you could say, history about it. We don't know which one is true, but they say that King Louis XIV had a lot of chefs, and one of his chefs decided that he was tired of just making meat broth, beefy meat broth, and said, hey, King Louis, yo, homie, can we do something about this sauce? Can we add some flavor to it? Can we put some herbs in it? King Louis agreed, says, yeah, do what you gotta do, make it taste good. And that's when they tested the water and added all the herbs to it, and they reduced it and made it Espagnnole, or Spanish sauce. And there's other histories out there. It was named after a guy. Don't know his name, but I know it's supposed to be named after him. But who knows? But we have Espagnnole now. It's a really great sauce. Definitely go out there and try it. I would give you guys some homework and tell you to go out there and make you an Espagnnole, but I don't know how that would taste with store-bought veal stock, because after all, we're not in Europe, so our veal stock may not be the same. Excuse me, it may not be the same. But yeah, try it. Tell me what you guys think. Go out to your local grocery store, get you some veal stock, and follow the classical way of making Espagnnole. The classical way. The classical way, like I said, it definitely has tomatoes in it. It has onions, and when you do your tomatoes, make sure you boil them if you want to do it the classic way to get the skin off of it. Try it and let me know what you think. Did it turn out well? Did it turn out bad? Was it a no-go? Was it a go? And if you want, you can even post pictures on my Facebook page at Inside the Lunchbox, and tell me what you think about it. So, everybody, that is Espagnnole, a.k.a. Spanish sauce. Also, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. The real demi-glaze, the real mother sauce. But yeah, so before we go, we got a few minutes left. I want to talk to you guys about a nonprofit organization, which is I'm going to hold dear to my heart. It's a new organization called Hero Barracks, and it started by a group of my friends here in Conroe, Texas. Nonprofit organization called Hero Barracks. My friend Steve and his wife Michelle, and another one of my friends Jimmy and his wife Mary, they got together and they had a vision that they wanted to provide service to homeless veterans and first responders, help them with like a place to stay, so they can live. And I was like, man, this is awesome. So I'm actually part of their dream, their vision, and I'm going to support them 120%. Like I said, it's called Hero Barracks. It's a nonprofit organization here in Conroe, Texas, Montgomery County. If you're here in the local area, support them, man. Remember, these guys, they're veterans as well, and they're supporting other veterans and homeless vets. And remember, these homeless vets or these veterans, they at one point they gave their lives, or have given their family has given their lives for this country. And to show our appreciation, we should definitely support. It doesn't have to be this organization. It will be very nice if you do come out and support this organization, but definitely support an organization that helps our veterans. Help our veterans in need, whether they need a place to stay or they're just down on their luck. I'm going to support them 120%. The great people, the people are amazing. When I say these people will give their shirt off their back for you, they will make sure you're okay. Definitely. Steve, I love you, man. Michelle, I love you too. Jimmy, I love you, man. You're a great guy. And Mary, we definitely need to go catch us a live concert sometime so we can have some fun. But yeah, so definitely check out the Hero Barracks. HeroB.org is their website. Info at Hero B or Info Hero B is their info page to send them an email. Whether you support them by liking their Facebook page or even donate, just give them some support. They're doing some great things out there. Super, super awesome. Another thing before we go, we're going to talk about 2 restaurants that that I love here in the Conroe area, and we're going to go over a few more in the near future. But 2 of my go-tos here, if I want a good breakfast, Honor Cafe here in Conroe, Texas. Honor Cafe is really, really good, guys. Really great tasting food. The guy who owns it is also a veteran and a member of the VFW. And another restaurant is Tony Delicatessen. I don't know who owns that, but the food is freaking amazing. They serve hot subs. And when I say they're packed with flavor and just packed and packed and packed with more flavor, and they're hot and their bread is made fresh daily. Daily. That bread is so good. The bread is so good. The whole sandwich is so good. But if you go on my face page, I actually did a little clip. On my Facebook page, I did a little clip of Tony Delicatessen with my son eating one of their sandwiches. He gets a turkey melt. Oh, man, that turkey melt is amazing. Definitely should go try it. If you're here in the Conroe area, definitely go try it. Tony's Delicatessen and Honor Cafe. But if you're here in Texas or you're here in Houston, go check out the food atmosphere or the food scene in Houston. You will not be disappointed. We are the city of 10,000 restaurants. 10,000 restaurants. Pick one and just dive right on in. You will not be disappointed. We are very underrated here in Houston. We have great food. We have great cultural diversity here. The food is amazing. You can get anything you want here. And if you're here visiting, go out and try it. Don't be scared. Don't be scared to try new things when it's coming to food. I can tell you right now, there's one food I won't try, and that's frog legs. So it's not happening. But yeah, don't be scared to try something new. But until next time, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to my podcast. This is the 3rd episode, the 2nd sauce, Espagnnole. We still have 3 more sauces to go. We have your veloute, we have your tomato, and you have my favorite, the hollandaise with the eggs Benedict. It's just great. So in the meantime, folks, keep your head up. You go to a restaurant, try some new food. Definitely enjoy it. If you have any ideas, post on my Facebook page, Inside the Lunchbox. If you have recipes, post it. If you want me to try something, post it. If you don't know how to make something, post it on my Facebook page. Hit me up in my inbox me. Ask me questions. And we're gonna have fun with this whole cooking experience. I forgot to mention one thing. In March, I have a very special show for you guys. It's including my best friend, my dear friend, Jamie Barnett is going to be the guest on the show. And on this show, we're going to be talking about family traditions. But this family tradition is eating with our family. Is that tradition gone? Back in the day when I was growing up, I had to be at home before the street lights came on. And then we were eating, the whole family was eating together. And that was kind of the thing. It was a mandatory thing. Is that tradition gone nowadays where family sits down and eat together? So that's the question. That's what we're going to be talking about in the upcoming episode in March. It's a great show. You're going to love her. I love you, Jamie. It was a great time doing that episode with you. So until next time, guys, remember, if it looks good, try it, taste it, enjoy it, and tell me what you think. If you have any questions, contact me. Contact me.
You see that I see a destruction. Campaign rain, champagne when they bustin'. Money on the table by the counterfeits. $1 million fables, shit, I'm counting cents. Since it seems that I see a destruction, I'll be packing light. No, I got some Russians. I'll be in your sight, so in your discussions. Why be so hard? Struggle just to love me, struggle just to care. They don't wanna touch it. Everything is fair, at least that's what they nudging. Oh, what they nudging. Time and money on investigations while they put drugs in the public.